We're the Screen Team. We are all about movie reviews, and we've got one for you now as I am being joined by Mr. David Carroll. David, good to see you as always, sir.
It's great to see you too, Chris.
We're getting ready to do a movie that is from the early 1990s starring our boy Tom Selleck. And Tom Selleck, huge TV star, had a few hits here and there as far as movies goes. He was supposed to be Indiana Jones back in the day.
He was supposed to be, yes.
So we got this movie we're getting ready to review where he kind of has this same kind of swag about him that Indiana Jones has a little bit.
Yes. I mean, he comes close to being John Wayne.
Yes. We're talking about the movie Quigley Down Under. And to kind of set this movie up for our folks who are watching and listening right now, David, we've got Matthew Quigley. He's an American, and he's coming over to Australia for a job, correct?
That's correct. The character played by Alan Rickman, one of his early American movies roles, has a ranch in Texas, and he goes over there. He puts out an ad in the newspaper looking for this sharpshooter.
Yeah.
And Matthew Quigley gets the job. He's from Wyoming. Mm-hmm. And he has this Sharps rifle that has been modified.
Oh, it's been modified, all right.
Big time. Big scope and everything. It's pretty nice. He gets the job, and he takes the ship or boat, schooner, down to Australia, which would have been, it would have been a long trip.
No kidding. I mean, what happens if they're like, you know what, we're going to change our mind about that? There was no, texting or cell phones or anything like that.
He went down there under the impression that he was going to be shooting dingoes, wild dingoes, dogs that were interfering with his ranch, sheep ranch. However, when he gets there, he finds out that he was hired, in fact, to shoot Aborigines.
Yeah.
And that didn't go over well with him.
I love that scene, by the way, because you see them at dinner talking about it, and you can see some tension building between our two characters here, right? And then the very next scene, all you see is the front door. You don't see anything happen. All of a sudden, you see Alan Rickman just fly through the door because he got punched by Matthew Quigley. So we've got some struggles going on here with Quigley. Not only has he been hired to do something that he doesn't really want to do, he's being followed, or he's being accompanied by, I should say, by this woman who thinks that she is his husband, or her. She thinks that Matthew Quigley is her husband.
Yes. She believes that apparently she had a run-in with Comanches in Texas. Yeah. She smothered her child in order so they wouldn't hear them hiding in the root cellar. And her husband takes her and puts her on a ship to Australia.
Yeah.
And she really goes crazy. They call her crazy.
Yeah, she's definitely having a hard time, and Matthew Quigley's like, what did I get myself into? I got to shoot people for this guy. This lady won't leave me alone. I'm in a country I don't know what's going on in, and that's kind of the basis of our story here. What is it about Quigley Down Under, David, that you like so much?
To top it all off, the musical scores.
Really?
Absolutely.
That wasn't what I was expecting. Tell me more.
The musical scores completely blew me away. Yeah. I was not expecting anything like that. They had a Hollywood icon of this 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. His name was Basil Podoros.
Okay.
And he created these Western themes for this movie that, although they were brand new, it sounded like you were hearing them for the 100th time. You felt like you were part of that music.
Right.
And that absolutely sold me on this movie. Now, the acting was great. Don't misunderstand me. I thought that everyone did a great job in this movie, but that music just, it blew me away. Yeah. It was beautiful.
I'm very, very surprised that you let off with that. I would have thought that, at the very end of the movie, we've got Matthew Quigley, and he has to basically pull a John Wayne where he's got to take everybody out, and there's 20, 25 guys he's got to take out, and he's got to take them all out by himself. I mean,
with a single shooter.
Exactly. So, there's a lot of good points and parts to this particular film. I remember watching this as a youngin', and I remember liking it the first time that I saw it.
Oh, absolutely.
I really, really did enjoy it, and I was like, man, Tom Selleck should be in more movies, man. I really, really, dig him as a movie star, not only a TV star as well. Laura San Giacomo plays, what's her name? Do you have the name on there?
Crazy
I can't think of.
Crazy Clara. Or was that Sarah?
She's crazy.
She's crazy.
She's
That's all I
crazy.
remember. Yeah.
And she's a lady who, kind of like with Tom Selleck, was more known for her TV roles than her movie roles as well. And Alan Rickman.
It's the only thing I really remember her in.
She was in a TV show called Just Shoot Me, which was in the mid 1990s.
Never saw that.
But Alan Rickman, if you need a bad guy for a movie, just hire him.
Well, Die Hard came out just about the same time.
Sure.
And he was a fairly much an unknown in the States. He was quite well known in Britain, of course.
Yeah.
And of course, he'd gone on from there to become Snape.
Harry Potter.
The Harry
and
Potter
course,
series.
He was in the Robin Hood Prince of Thieves. He played Sheriff of Nottingham.
Nottingham. And of course, he played the Gunther in. Oh gosh, what was that movie? Bruce Willis. Set at Christmas time. The big
Die Hard.
Die Hard. Yeah. And of course, he was perfect for a bad guy.
Always perfect.
He was. But this show, it had everything that you could ask for in a movie. I know I joke a lot, when I'm here about ringtones for the theme music, and actually I have two movie ringtones on my phone that I switch off back and forth on. One of them is the theme from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Nice.
Clint Eastwood.
Classic.
Yes, and the other one is the theme song.
That's wild, David.
This, yeah.
That is so wild. I got to go back and listen to it, to be honest with you now.
It's absolutely fantastic.
My goodness. So is this a movie that you revisit from now on?
Oh, I've watched it numerous times through the years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well, man. Quigley Down Under, back from 1990. And before we move on to other reviews here on the Screen Team, let's talk about the stage company of Poplar Bluff. You guys are gearing up for a lot of great productions in 2019. Let's talk about if people want to maybe try out or maybe do some stuff backstage. How do they get a hold of you guys?
Well, first of all, if they will go to our we have a webpage, and just do a Google search for the stage company of Poplar Bluff, and it'll take you to our web pages. And we have a couple of pages on Facebook, and you can do a search for groups on there, and there's a couple of them. One of them has a lot of photographs on it, and the other one has other information on it. Sure. But whenever we have auditions, that always goes in there. And then when I do, and then if they click like on it, it'll come over their news feed whenever we have an audition. And then also, when I direct, I usually put an audition announcement in the Daily American Republic to let people know.
Sure.
And if they would just come and attend one of the auditions, even if they don't want to act, if they want to do something else, we got plenty of work for them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of backstage stuff that has to be done, and that stuff is just as important as the acting.
That's very, very true. Very, very true. All right, so get in touch with David or the rest of the folks over at the stage company, whether you're looking to maybe be in front of everybody, or if that's not your thing, maybe you want to be behind them, get in touch with them and help them out for their big 2019 season. They're going to finish it up with South Pacific.
Yes.
That's going to be
Rogers and Hammerstein.
Very exciting. All right, David, appreciate you being on the show. We've got more reviews coming your way right here on the Screen Team.